Central Kentucky police officials are looking for 2 people responsible for using counterfeit money across the state in the past week.
A scam alert today will tell you how crooks are using the name of police to try and steal your money. And it's one of the frustrations of cell phones. Sometimes you just cannot get a call out. We'll take a closer look at why it can be a problem.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4:30.
Good afternoon, Jennifer Palumbo and Sam Dick reporting. Counterfeit money has been going around several central Kentucky communities, and investigators think it's all connected.
The reports have come from places like Harrodsburg and Danville. WKYT's Mike Linden is tracking the investigation. It's our top story at 4:30.
Following several reports of counterfeit money being used in central Kentucky over the past week, police can now confirm those instances are linked. According to Harrodsburg police officials, a man who used a counterfeit $100 bill at a Dairy Queen last week is the same man who used a counterfeit bill in Danville just a few days later. Danville police officials say the man and a woman passed the counterfeit bills off as real bills and then pocket the change. Police officials from both Danville and Harrodsburg say the fake bills are linked to several other Kentucky counties and even as far as Indiana. Danville Police Captain James Monroe says while police are looking for the 2 suspects, there may be others involved.
We'll have one little wave that happens once a year, and it may be the same person that is putting them out in the general public, but then it may be someone else that passes them. Police officials say counterfeiting money is a felony and in some instances can carry a 10-year prison sentence. In Harrodsburg, Mike Linden, WKYT.
Captain Monroe says a foolproof way to determine if a bill is fake or real is to hold it up to a light and look for a watermark and a security bar to appear. If you see both of those, it is a real bill.
A scam alert this afternoon. Winchester police warn someone is calling people, telling them if they don't pay up, they'll be thrown in jail. As WKYT's Rebecca Smith shows us, police say a few people have fallen victim. The story is new at 4:30.
Winchester police say someone's calling people claiming there's a warrant out for their arrest. To avoid being arrested, the scammer tells the victim to go to Kroger and put money on a gift card. The suspect has even been using the names of some Winchester police officers.
On Saturday, it was here at the Kroger in Winchester that police were able to prevent someone from becoming a victim of this scam.
We had officers in the area when we received the complaint, and we did speak to an individual that was on his way to give money.
Captain Craycraft says no matter how convincing the caller is, the department will never contact you over the phone if there is a warrant out for your arrest.
To portray your police department and giving local law enforcement names, you know, that's a big concern that we need to find these individuals.
In Clark County, Rebecca Smith, WKYT.
Winchester police say the person calls from a Danville 859 number. If you get the call, you're urged to contact authorities right away.
A woman had to be rushed to the hospital after being shot while driving overnight. Police say a man approached the victim and another man while they were in a car in Bainbridge Court. We're told the victim drove off because she was worried something wasn't right, and that's when the shooter opened fire. The woman was shot once in the shoulder but was able to drive to a gas station in Hamburg and call police. Deputies arrested a woman suspected of shooting her husband. The Whitley County Sheriff's Office says that 63-year-old Kathy Hackler shot 78-year-old Bobby Hackler during a fight Sunday at a home on Hackler Street in Woodbine. He was flown to UK Hospital with a wound to the abdomen. Kathy Hackler is charged with criminal intent to commit murder. Deputies also charged her with wanton endangerment because they say a juvenile was there when the shooting happened.
A Lexington man is in jail accused of stealing thousands of dollars from an elderly man. Police say Jeremy Mills stole more than $5,000 in cash and checks from the victim. Police say the victim is unable to maintain finances without assistance. A man spent 6 hours in Kentucky Lake waiting to be rescued. 22-year-old Matthew Rowe's boat sank yesterday afternoon. His 5 passengers made it to shore, but he could not. He clung to a boat set cushion until rescuers were able to reach him. Neighbors helped save a family from a fire. A home on Ryswick Lane caught fire in Frankfort this morning. The Franklin County Sheriff's Office says neighbors knocked on the door to wake up the people inside so they could escape. Firefighters were able to put out the fire quickly and save the home. A school bus crash sent 6 students to the hospital this morning. The bus crashed on Taylor Boulevard at the Watterson Expressway in Louisville. There were 28 students on board the bus when it collided with another vehicle. If you have a cell phone, you know how frustrating dead zones can be when you need to make a call and can't. Our WKYT investigative team looked into why cell phone calls drop in certain areas. A University of Kentucky professor says cell phone towers are just as critical as your phone when it comes to getting a call through, and those towers may not be where you need them.
It's an economic thing that, it costs a certain amount of money to put up a cell tower, and if you're not going to get enough business from it, you won't put a tower up there.
Sam is in the newsroom with WKYT's Miranda Combs for a preview of her story that's coming up on WKYT News at 6. Sam?
Jennifer, thank you. Miranda, it makes sense that it would be tougher to get cell phone service in a rural area versus, let's say, in the middle of Lexington.
Right. I know when we go do stories in eastern Kentucky, you get to the top of the mountain, you're like, whoa, stop here. Let me check my emails, because you can see the tower there. And then as soon as you drop down, you're back out again. So a lot of it has to do with the terrain, and it's just not economically feasible, as that gentleman said, to have towers in enough places in these rural areas to make it work.
This sounds like something really handy. You have talked to a man who runs a website that shows where the areas are that don't have cell service, right?
He runs a site called deadcellzones.com, and he says he's got like 60,000 complaints on this site. And he says it all goes back to the carriers, that there would be a lot of frustrations relieved if carriers would be more honest with their coverage maps and be honest with people about where they actually are going to get coverage or where it's going to be spotty.
Does he have some advice on how to pick a carrier, how to select from what's out there?
Interestingly, he said it might be best to pick a carrier with the least amount of customers in your area, if you can do that, and if they have coverage that's going to suit your needs. But I'll explain why exactly he said that coming up at 6.
All right, this affects a lot of people out there.
Does.
Everybody has a cell phone.
Of course.
Thanks, Miranda. Jennifer?
Thanks, Sam. Special recognition today for business leaders in southern and eastern Kentucky. The Center for Rural Development hosted the Excellence in Entrepreneurship Awards today. Most of those honored own businesses with fewer than 50 employees. It takes long days, nights, and weekends to succeed.
Being recognized by this group of people, and so many people in southeast Kentucky, is huge. My target market is London, Somerset, Manchester, Corbin, Williamsburg, all that area, but UPS goes everywhere every day, so I like to think that my market is a little bigger than that, and being recognized by this group gives me a little more credibility in that market area that I'm shooting for anyway.
Award winners were selected after scanning various businesses in a 55-county area. UK will kick off this weekend's game against the Gators with the Little Music. The Jordan English Band and J.D. Shelburne will play a concert before the game. It starts at 3 o'clock next to the Glen Infinity of Lexington Green Lot, adjacent to Gate 1 of Commonwealth Stadium. A concert held before UK's home opener was very successful, and that's why UK decided to do it again for the next game. Every student in Fayette County schools will soon have a library card. The Lexington Public Library presented personalized cards to children at Arlington Elementary School today. Each card has the student's name and expected graduation date on it. Bryan Station Middle and High Schools will get theirs next. Cards will be presented to all other students by next spring.